का information architecture गलत है. Nice जुगाड़, great design. Visibility of system status is actually a very important usability heuristic and it's right there in action. Hello. Welcome to this new series जहां मैंने मेरी दो favorite चीजों movies और experience design को मिला दिया है to make reaction videos. But this is not going to be a generic reaction series. I'll be reacting to the UX of the technology shown in the movies and rating it. Also, I'll share my perspective on the technology, so maybe you'll get to learn a thing or two while having fun. So for the first video of the series, I have dared to pick the technology of the great inventor Tony Stark himself. But is he a good UX designer as well? Let's find out. Initial movies में टोनी अपने मैलिबू के अल्ट्रा मॉडर्न मेंशन में रहता है, which is full of interesting tech. But I would like to start with the one place which probably has the most tech in that house. His workshop. The first gadget that I have picked is his keyboard. So let's have a closer look on that. So on the left hand side, we have the file management stuff, which has very obvious options like new, open, save, etc. Then this section here is called programming that as far as I know has some relevant stuff, but having trigonometric functions on a keyboard. I don't know ये regular programming में कैसे use होता होगा, but he's Tony Stark. He could actually be doing rocket science here, so yeah, why not? This one here looks like a ruler. I assume ये कुछ measure करने के लिए होगा, or this could simply be for zooming in and out, which would be like a cool thing to do, right? On the right hand side, we have the Mayan number system as the keyboard's numeric keys, with the numbers weirdly going from 1 to 14. Why the Mayan numbers? ये भी थोड़ा सा सोचने वाली बात है. Is it just to make the keyboard look cool? Or is Tony really into it? We don't know much, but we can give him a benefit of doubt there. Then यहाँ कुछ circuit related symbols हैं, considering he must be doing a lot of stuff with electronics. So this looks like a multi-cell battery. This one is a resistor, I guess. These are diodes. बाकी glyphs समझने के लिए I think you need to be an expert like Tony. So अपने बस के तो बाहर है बॉस. एक्सपीरियंस की बात करें तो हाँ कुछ सोच समझ के बनाया हुआ लग रहा है, बट थोड़ा सा अनरियलिस्टिक भी है. इट लुक्स लाइक टोनी एक्चुअली यूज कर सकता है, बट और कोई बंदा शायद इस कीबोर्ड को यूज ना कर पाए. एंड इस पे आई एम थिंकिंग जो नॉर्मल अल्फाबेट है वो भी मिसिंग है. मे बी वो इस मोड बटन से आता होगा, बट देन व्हाई इज इट अंडर प्रोग्रामिंग? उस केस में इसका इंफॉर्मेशन आर्किटेक्चर गलत है. और क्या देख सकते हैं इसमें? I think the keyboard is ergonomic. It has dedicated areas to put your wrists, and the layout is also kind of like comfortable. But still, that alphanumeric keys thing is bugging me. It's not like you're going to dictate one word in English to Jarvis and then tapping a key on this keyboard. मतलब काफी difficult. Okay, movie में आगे बढ़ते हैं तो हम देखते हैं कि there is a magic keyboard somewhere on the table. But then how do you type with two keyboards? मतलब ये भी काफी weird है, right? Coming back to this main keyboard, everything is touch based here. I think इसको बिना देखे टाइप करना थोड़ा मुश्किल है, काफी मुश्किल है इनफैक्ट, because it doesn't matter how trained you are, आपको टच इंटरफेसेस पे देख के ही टाइप करना पड़ता है. Otherwise you type like this. Overall, I would rate this keyboard 2 out of 5 arc reactors. This tech looks exciting, yes. This keyboard is also ergonomic. This could be useful as well, but the form factor still is a bit problematic for me. Having actual keys is always better on a keyboard than having sensors. And again, the missing alphabet keys, वहाँ number कट गए हैं थोड़े. So yeah, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Okay, so in this scene, Pepper is watching a finance channel on a TV. Actually a glass wall. So here we see that it's daytime and a transparent surface like this glass panel would clearly have issues in displaying a colored picture properly. So what did Tony do to solve it? He actually added a shade to the whole panel. This darkens the base glass and watching a clearer picture becomes possible. Nice jugaad, great design. The screen tells you the temperature, date and time. So she's watching a finance show on CNBC, which looks like on channel number 145. Show का नाम भी highlighted है, which is a good thing, and show का remaining time भी दिख रहा है. But nothing new out there, a very basic experience for every TV. I don't know, 2007-8 में ऐसे experiences होते थे TV के, तो maybe उस हिसाब से थोड़ा modern हो. But for us, I think this is a very regular thing now. So she's recording the show as well, and it's showing the percentage and time of how much it has been recorded. बट अगर यहाँ रेड कलर का रिकॉर्डिंग इंडिकेटर होता तो आई गेस बेटर होता. और मे बी शी हैज रिकॉर्डेड सम पार्ट ऑफ द शो ऑलरेडी एंड नॉट रिकॉर्डिंग इट एनीमोर. Okay, where are the controls for this glass TV? Right next to Pepper. So she can control it through this tablet sort of device. Here's the pause button, the rewind button, and yeah, the record button in its default state. So yes, we can say that she only recorded some bit of the content and not recording it anymore. The device also shows the remaining storage space. Nice. It is in TVs, considering it's Tony. This tablet is actually pretty cool. So it's a TV remote, it's a house controller, considering we have seen similar devices across house walls in the previous scenes. And it's also an intercom. So as Tony calls her, the TV controller UI is responsive and the layout shifts to a smaller space. Nice. On the call, she can hear Tony's voice and a transcription is also there, and she sees an option to respond to it. Okay, why is this answer button away from the cancel end video? This is interesting. My guess is that the VFX team had to map the answer button to wherever Gwen tapped. But the rest of the layout just made sense, or it could have been like earlier built in advance and then they just somehow retrofitted the answer button to the tap. But overall, it's a really impressive experience. Other than this one thing for which I would cut the VFX team some slack, I would rate this experience 4 arc reactors out of 5. So it's very intuitive, except for the answer button, but yeah, that's fine. Alrighty, moving on. In my opinion, this one is the most exciting tech that Tony has, the heads up display, aka the HUD of the suit. The boot up itself is top notch. During the boot up, it kind of shows you that whatever Tony is seeing in the HUD, that's happening within the 2 small holes that look like eyes of the helmet from the front. It has depth built into it, it tracks his eye movement, it works on voice command. अभी थोड़े दिन पहले हमने कुछ ऐसा देखा है जो कि अभी भी हमारी रियलिटी नहीं बना है. इट इज गोइंग टू सून बिकम अ रियलिटी इन 2024. सो उस हिसाब से देखें तो यार kudos to the VFX team who about 16 years ago actually practically thought of a technology and experience that is now going to become a reality. So great job guys, much respect. So there's a targeting system in one eye with zoom in capabilities. Good stuff, considering the suit was created for combat, this is a must. यहाँ नीचे कुछ widgets हैं for whatever he needs to do, I believe. This one looks like it shows the suit's diagnostic and health. Visibility of system status is actually a very important usability heuristic, and it's right there in action. And I just love how detailed and well thought of this HUD is. I mean, it's really impressive. So this one here, I think it's showing some form of analytics. This could be the radar. The size of these widgets is actually too small for me to figure out anything. From Tony's point of view, we see that there is an altimeter thing going on both the sides, just like aircrafts. So yeah, as a suit built for flying, this is also a must. There is also a map, just like GTA on the bottom left. Again, absolutely important for navigation. The right hand side shows the targeted objects with the distance and other details. But wasn't it mapped to the left eye? I mean, how does it work? Like, do I move my head around to focus on things and then my eyes move just to read the card, the information card about that one thing in focus? I guess, yeah, that's how it could happen, considering you are in an iron suit with limited movability of your neck, and then there's also a limited field of view. But would that be an issue? Actually, no. From rest of the movie, we know that the suit also detects what's happening around Tony. So if there is a threat or anything coming his direction, the suit pops that information up in the HUD, so you know about it. So the field of view, I think that restriction is not that big of an issue. Next, we see him flying, and during that, all the other widgets are subsided so that the most important stuff is there, which is like the flying experience, and the new relevant information is also shown here, like the speed that he's going on. So important. So yeah, overall, I believe the HUD is a very thoughtfully designed experience. But that's not where the story ends. ये सिर्फ Mark II का HUD था जो हमने अभी देखा. So within the movie itself, the HUD experience gets an upgrade, which gives me a sense that other than fixing the freezing issue on extreme heights, Tony also noticed that he could do better in the HUD interface and also updated that in the Mark III suit. I mean, recording and understanding the feedback and then improving upon the experience. That's one of the biggest learnings that I have had over the years as a product designer. And you can see it all in action in this movie. Talking about the Mark III HUD. So we don't get a detailed view of this like the Mark II one. But what I can make out of the snippets is that the colors have changed. The base color of the interface is white now, which makes sense considering the other status related accent colors will pop out better in a white UI. And then the interface is also much more clean now. But I think more on it can be done in another video with different scenes and how it changes accordingly. Now is the time to rate this HUD, whatever we have viewed till now. So I think HUD experience hands down is the best thing that they have like designed as an experience in the movie. So it's a 5 on 5 thing, and it's a very well thought of experience. It has the right amount of information, the right amount of focus, important statuses. Everything about it looks flawless. So Tony Stark, or actually in real life, whoever from the VFX team of the movie has worked on the HUD design, you should be designing actual products, dude. I mean, it's really good. It's flawless. I absolutely love it. So that was the video, folks. Please let me know in the comment section which movie UX do you want me to review next. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click on that like button. Share it with your friends and show them that you watch some real good content on YouTube. And don't forget to click on the subscribe button yourself because we don't have Jarvis to do that, right? See you in the next one. Bye bye.